Hello again, beautiful traders in the house. Great to have you here again this new week, 21st and 25th of July, 2025. As always, I'm Atomashi Dania, Verstralis Global Market Analyst. It's another beautiful trading week with lots of opportunities to be had. Now, this time, what pairs are we looking at? Whichever part of the world you're joining us from, welcome. Ekabo, um, Mambo, Karibu, Saubona, whichever part. Welcome to our weekly market analysis. Now, this is what we have for this week. Some of the pairs we're considering include the AUD USD, the NZD USD, the USD JPY, Bitcoin, and Ripple. And of course, you know that we're going to start with the fundamental analysis as always. Now, this is just some of the pairs we're looking at. Doesn't mean that we're not looking at the Euro USD or GBP USD, all other major pairs, especially on our Telegram channel. Okay, so be on the lookout for other analysis or outlooks given pertaining to other pairs on Telegram. Now, for today, Monday, we have it being a technicals day in that we do not expect any significant data or news from the economic calendar. Hence, um, paradise for technical traders. Okay, so be on the lookout tomorrow, Tuesday. We expect Fed Chair Powell's speech, the Richmond Manufacturing Index. Now, Fed Chair Powell is due to speak at a conference tomorrow, okay? And the Richmond Manufacturing Index, a survey of manufacturers, the sentiment around the economy, especially the manufacturing industry. Now, above zero indicates improving conditions, below zero indicates worsening conditions. Be on the lookout for that. And we have Australia's monetary policy meeting minutes, the minutes of the meeting. Now, all these three combined are medium impact. So, because of that, Tuesday might be a somewhat technicals day. Okay, somewhat technicals where we do not expect any high impact data to impact the market or affect the markets, okay, significantly. Now, on Wednesday, also somewhat technicals day, okay. Nothing really to be had, no significant news or data from the economic calendar. But on Thursday, we expect PMI, the US flash manufacturing and services PMI. On Thursday, that's quite significant. So be on the lookout for fluctuations in the market across all pairs, including these two pairs being talked about right now, the three pairs rather. And then on Friday, we expect the US core durable and durable good orders. Now, these are also medium impact data. Now, there's something else to know this week. Okay, remember that when you have technicals day spread out across the week where you do not have significant high impact news all across board during the course of the week, we might expect some influence in the market where someone comes into the play to make some comments, especially Donald Trump. Okay, someone, you know the way these big dogs walk, so you got to be careful and expect that maybe something eventful might happen in the market. Some major news might come in to make the markets quite volatile because it might be a bit limited in range. The ranges all across the week might be limited, not as high as what we have on normal day with high impact news filled in. So be on the lookout for that. For those who trade the market, you know what I'm talking about. Now, of course, if we have tariff war escalations within the US and other economies, and if we do have global uncertainties or any form of global crisis, we could see um, increased investment or increased volume of transactions in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ripple. Now we go into the charts. In the charts, we'll start with the NZD USD. So on the NZD USD, what do we see? We see a descending channel on the 4-hour chart. That stands out more to me after price has reacted to 6046 significantly during the course of many days. Okay. So on the same 4-hour chart, price right now is playing above the channel, right? The resistance border of the channel. So it's important to be quite careful. All right, you can see that right there. On the 1-hour chart, right, we see that it's also quite close to the 200-day moving average. Okay, meanwhile, on the same 4-hour chart, We also see right there that it reacted significantly to the 50-day moving average right here. That's the green line, 50-day moving average. Price reacted significantly with the price rejection. Okay. So if price, for me, breaks above the 200 MA on the 1 hour chart and 0.5980, okay, I would buy to 5992 or consider levels above that to 6004, okay, right here. And if it goes above that, perhaps we could see price touch upon 6014. Now, this is on the resistance end of things. My key resistance for me is at 5980. All right. Price again is at the resistance border of the channel. Okay. Um, if it breaks below 5939, which is my key support level, okay, then our target level is 5925 on intraday or scalping moves. And if it goes below that, perhaps 5911. And if it goes below that, then perhaps we might see price touch upon the psychological level of 5900. Now, if it's adventurous enough, we might go below that with respect to the descending channel, okay, the support border of the descending channel. So pay attention to that. Key support 5939. Now, there's something else to note on the 1 hour chart on the NZD USD. We have the inverse heads and shoulders. If you follow the solid yellow circles right there, one, two, three. Hence, if price breaks above the confirmation level of the heads and shoulders, that's 5980. Okay, we could see it touch upon 5992, as said before. Then above that to 6004, above that to 6014. That was my take on this guy. This guy seems to be showing some sort of positive divergence on the RSI. Okay, while price is pointing downwards with the lower waves, on the same lower waves on the RSI, we see price pointing upwards. Okay, indicating that the bullish momentum is picking up. So because of this and because of the inverse heads and shoulders we have playing out right now, I favor brief bullish positions, okay, on the NZD USD, provided I see a clear break above this descending channel. So if I see a clear break above the descending channel, above the upper border, that's the green line right there, then I'll consider buy positions if price breaks above 5990, okay, to other ones. Now that's that for the NZD USD. Now the AUD USD, on the weekly chart, we see also that it's playing currently around the 100-day moving average right there. That's the thick blue line. Okay. It's reacting and still playing around the 100-day MA. It's not broken clearly above that yet. On the daily chart, we see it move very nicely along an ascending channel. So you can see right there. Okay. And then, here you go. On the 4-hour chart, we see price, okay, currently playing around the support border of the descending channel. So we see price play currently above around the support border. That's the red line right there. There was price rejection right around here. Let's try to mark that. We had significant price rejection around the support border right there. So price is currently reacting to that. For me, my key support level is placed at 6484. If price breaks significantly below that, that's this significant swing low we see right here. We see some major reactions right around there. Looks like a bank level. And here, okay, it looks like an other block level. Now, if it breaks below that, then we could see price touch upon 6468. If it goes below that, perhaps 6453, corresponding to this significant swing low, and perhaps other reactions right around that level. Okay. And if price breaks below that, then my next most likely target will be 6453. Below that, 6435. And below that, 6411. That's on the support end of things. My key support level is placed at 6484. Now, if price returns into the channel, right now is below the channel, right? If it returns into the channel and breaks above 6540, the thick blue line right there, then my next most likely target will be 6563. Again, if it breaks above 6540, Next likely target 6563. If I want to be conservative, perhaps I'll target 6552. If it breaks above 6563, then I'll be looking at 6581. Above that, perhaps this next psychological level of 6600. You know, this is the Aussie. Aussie doesn't really move in many pips. So you try to be conservative with your target. Now, between 6581 and 6600, scalpers or intraday traders could target 6590. And between 6563 and 6581, again, scalpers or intraday traders could also target 6573. Okay, on the AUD USD. Now, what's my take on this guy? Um, I favor bullish positions too, provided there's a break above 6540. Okay, but if you check very clearly, it looks as though it might try to recover a somewhat fair value gap around here. Okay, might try to recover a fair value gap around there. So be on the lookout for the breakage below 6484. If it does that, then I consider bearish positions going down on the AUD USD. All right. That's that for the Aussie. The next pair we're going to look at right now is the USD JPY. The USD JPY. So again, we know that this big man is moving very nicely on the weekly chart along a nice ascending channel, right? Channel within the channel. So we see the inner border right here, the inner upper border, the outer upper border. Okay, right now is at the support level of the channel. And if you want to be adventurous enough, perhaps you might even connect um, lower borders here, here, here. Okay, indicating that we have a channel within a channel on the USD JPY. All right. So right now it has touched the upper border, the inner border of the lower channel, of the inner lower border rather, and it seems to be reacting to it. We see a gap down. And what happened? What led to this gap down? Now we had an election. It's important to state that the election in Japan had current incumbent political party in power to sort of see power shift. All right, some sort of power shift to a different party. Now that's good stability, democratic stability for the country, and hence economic one. Okay, hence what did we see? We saw a nice appreciation of the Japanese yen. Okay, that created a very massive gap. And I sent the outlook on that. If you were awake at the time of the opening of the market, I sent something, opportunity to be had and take advantage of on the USD JPY. If you did that, congratulations to you. So key take right now is on the 4 hour chart, we see price from the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. Okay, if you follow the solid yellow circles right there, 1, 2, 3, leaving here to be the confirmation level, okay, of the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. We also see RSI negative divergence on the 4 hour chart, indicating that we could see a bearish drop anytime from now, or a bearish pullback or reversal is imminent. Okay, therefore, my support level is placed at the confirmation level of the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. If you switch to the line chart right there, you can see the waves very nicely. So if price breaks below 147.90 for me, then my next most likely target going down is 147.50. If it goes below that, I'll target 147.20. And below that, perhaps the psychological level of 147.00. Now, if you get adventurous enough to touch 146.79, to go below 147.00, then my next most likely target will be 146.79 right there. Okay, next line. And below that, perhaps 146.35. This line right here. Now, on the flip side, if price converts this 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern perhaps to maybe a rectangle, and starts to move within a range. Hence, if it breaks above 149.00, then my next most likely target will be 149.39. As you can see right there, above that 149.71, this one, and above that, the next psychological level of 150.00 on the USD JPY. My take, I favor short-term bearish positions on the USD JPY. Okay, I favor short-term bearish positions. The reversal pattern is quite powerful. Okay, but if it converts it to a range and breaks above 149.00 within that range, then I start to consider bullish moves. All right, on this pair. Now, over to cryptocurrency. Now, what do you see on Bitcoin? Bitcoin has been tricky. It has hit the $123,000 mark, as you can see right there. Okay, this guy, this thin line here, hit that, reacted to it, and came back down. And looks like it wants to recover a somewhat fair value gap. That's the red rectangle you see right there. Okay, this red rectangle. Okay, now it has formed also a heads and shoulders pattern. By heads and shoulders, I mean here being the head. It's quite tough to draw that on this pair today. Here being the head, here the shoulder, and here also the shoulder. Let's see if we can use the rectangle to highlight that. Yeah, that's the head. Next, um, we got the left shoulder right there. And also, we got the right shoulder right here. So we don't confuse that, just give that a different color. That's the right shoulder, and this is the left shoulder. There you go. Now, indicating that a bearish reversal is imminent. So for me, my key support level is placed at 116309 on Vestrado's platform. You can see the nice lower wave right there. If price breaks below that, then my next most likely target selling would be 115,000. If it goes below that, then my next most likely target in recovery of this fair value gap will be 114,000 on Bitcoin. But if price turns this heads and shoulders into a range and starts to channel, right, forms a rectangle, if it goes above the $120,000 mark, this thick line right here, then my next most likely target will be 121,428 on Vestrado's platform. Above that, 122,473, and above that, 123,204. If price gets adventurous enough to break past its previous high, this significant high right here, then I'll be considering perhaps it wants to touch upon the next psychological level of 125,000. As you can see right there, that's the last line. Okay, this one, 125,000. Okay, on Bitcoin. Now, let's look at Ripple. The last but not the least, XRP. What does XRP say? Et voila. Now, XRP also has formed a 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. Look at the solid yellow circles right there. One, let's name that. That's the one. And the next circle there is the two. And finally, we have this one here being 3. Okay. If price breaks below the confirmation level of the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern, it looks as though it wants to recover a somewhat fair value gap. Also, just like Bitcoin, okay, somewhat fair value gap right there. Okay, fair value gap. We're going to label that. There you go. Now, if price breaks below 3.329, 3292, then I'll target 3.2253. If it goes below that, perhaps 3.1622 on Vestrato's platform. That's the last level right there. Okay. Now, if price turns this 123 reversal pattern into a range and turns it into a rectangle, right? If it goes above 3.534, okay, 0.5349, this line right here, uh, then my next most likely target will be the significant swing guy off 3.627 right there. If it goes above that, then my next most likely target will be the psychological level of 3.700, this one right here. Then above that, perhaps 3.800. That's that for the weekly outlook. Ladies and gentlemen, remember as you trade within the course of the week, don't be greedy, learn to wait, be conservative, okay, and trade within the trend. Now, what's my take on these crypto pairs? At a break below the key support level on Bitcoin and Ripple, I'll sell in recovery of the fair value gap. But if you convert it to a range, I'm going to consider buying. Have a great week, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.